What's going on, guys? I'm back with the Empire review. Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Everybody, be sure to like, comment, and share. I just do not know where they are actually taking this Empire storyline this year. I watched the episode last night, and I guess they're giving the backstory for Damon Cross. Let me just get into it. So the FBI is putting pressure on Thirsty to basically, you know what I'm saying, roll on Damon Cross or Lucius, but they really want Damon. So last night, you know what I'm saying, we get the backstory about Damon Cross and Tasty, and long story short, you know, when Lucius was broke, I guess you could say, and you know, he kind of let Tasty go. And before then, Tasty had met this young lady who worked at the DA office, and I guess they hit it off or whatever. She was she was young, you know what I'm saying? She was young, but I guess they hit it off. And so, you know, after Lucius let him go, you know what I'm saying, that was his, you know, money flow. He was trying to, you know, build his clientele, and so he attended Lucius and Empire's platinum party to basically, you know, scout out, you know, top of the line, big pocket clients, and she was there with him. So Damon Cross was there. Now, to my understanding, Damon Cross, you know, Tasty went to the bar to get a drink or whatever. Damon Cross, you know, actually sought Tasty out and told Tasty, you know what I'm saying, I hear you do good work for the Lions. You know what I'm saying, maybe I can make you my lawyer. So then that's how we got the ball rolling. So Tasty girlfriend, she was just like, you know, baby, you know, I was working at the DA office for a while, and every time Damon Cross' name comes up, you know, it's nothing good. And so he was like, you know, well, what is it? Like, what exactly do they have on him? And she was just like, nothing. Because he's that good, but you know, he's doing something wrong, etc., etc. So we find out basically the relationship. I don't know why I want to call this man Dusty, but Tasty, you know, he started working with Damon, and Damon a cold-blooded mother. You already know. Like, there was this scene where Damon, Tasty, and some white Italian guy, I think his name was, let me see if I can find his name, if I have it in my notes. Kansas. I can't think of the man's name. But anyway, there was this guy that they was working with, that basically Damon gave him $10 million, and he was supposed to give at least some of the millions to an orphanage, and he didn't. The guy was able to put the pressure on the orphanage, the orphanage or whatever. I'm assuming this orphanage is maybe one that Damon Cross grew up in, and he pretty much put the pressure on the orphanage to give him back the $10 million. And Damon Cross put a beat down on him and told him, you know what I'm saying, he basically didn't do what he wanted to do, and he beat him to death with a golf club on the airway and told Tasty to make sure that orphanage get $2 million of them $10. So, you know, that kind of tells me something right there, that maybe he was an orphan coming up without his parents or whatnot. So that was one thing. Then apparently at the end of the show, it appeared that Damon Cross knew the FBI was going to pick up Tasty, and after the Tasty was able to leave the FBI station free, you know what I'm saying, they weren't able to get nothing out of him. He was able to convince you know, the FBI agents that, you know, he was just a wannabe boyfriend who was trying to impress his girlfriend, getting caught up with all these big time shot callers like Damon Cross. And, you know, come to find out, Damon Cross pulled up to the FBI headquarters, picked Tasty up with Tasty girlfriend in the limo with him with a gun to her head. And basically he was just like, did you do what you need to do? But early in the episode we find out I don't know if you guys remember, there was a poker party that Lucius partaked in when he was trying to get some funds. I forget exactly what he needed money for, and it ended up getting robbed. And him and Andre walked out laughing, hee hee ha ha. And Damon Cross was there, and he was part of the. He lost 150K or 250K because Lucius robbed him, and he made Tasty. He was about to kill Tasty. Tasty didn't give it back to him, so Tasty gave him this painting that was worth $500,000, and apparently the painting was linked to, I guess, maybe Lucius or whoever. So the FBI spot that out as well. Now, Damon Cross, he seems as though he's a dangerous man, and before he let Tasty go, he tells Tasty to keep an eye on Lucius for him, and Tasty was like, are you sure you want me to keep an eye on Lucius, or is it Cookie? Because, we all know that, he got a thing for Cookie. Now, so I guess that's what pretty much this episode was about, of helping us understand Damon Cross' background and how he's been introduced to the show. So that's that. So, also in the show, like I said, I can't believe I didn't start off with this. I'm only tuned in for Justice Smollett. Let's get it clear. He didn't, nothing too much happened with him this week. Him and the two girls, Treasure and Tiana, he was able to get them to put their differences to the side and actually make the record or whatever the case is. But that was, Justice was pretty much non-existent in this episode. So that was that. So Andre, the Lion's oldest and begotten son, this episode he goes to his doctor to get a CT scan done, and the results came back that he had cancer, and apparently he doesn't have long to live. Now, I could have sworn that on the previews from last week that somebody was supposed to die this week. I don't know. But in all honesty, Hakeem hasn't been, that big in this season. So I'm about to say, if we can do without one of the sons, it would definitely be Andre. Because, but it just seems like they're kind of not focusing on the sons as much in these first couple episodes. So maybe in the next couple episodes, Hakeem and Jussie, but we focusing on Andre a little bit. But Hakeem and Jussie will, their storylines will pick up, and we can see them, doing something this season. Because I'm just here to see how Jussie gonna get rolled off. But yeah, Andre, he has cancer. So he goes to his girlfriend Terry. He lets her know, and I guess he pretty much signed up. Got a will generated, which basically the will was just saying that any events of him dying in the next couple of months, that she inherit everything that he has. That way, her and her son can be taken care of. And she refuses to sign it because she says that will admit that she's, giving up, and she's here to fight. They're gonna get through it. That's the kind of woman you need by your side right there, man. You don't get no realer than that. A woman that just want to fight with you, and fight for you and fight with you, Don't get much realer than that. That's how you got you a good one. So that happened this episode, and obviously, he don't want to tell his parents because we definitely don't want to see how Cookie gonna be acting, because I just can't. Taraji does a wonderful job of playing Cookie. I have to give her credit for that, because she plays the character so well to the point where the character just get on my nerves. Like seriously, like Cookie just gets on my nerves, and I'm not a Cookie lover, I'm not a Cookie hater. Cookie just get on my nerves because she always doing too much. And like I said, Taraji does a great job of playing the character, because if she didn't play that character that well, I probably just feel the same way I feel about Hakeem. Like Cookie just so like she just on the show. Or you can tell us how, because I don't think Lucius, really brings an element to the show that you just be like, oh, I hate him, or I tune in and watch him type thing. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just rambling a little bit, but that's how I feel. What else happened in this episode? So anyway, they Justin, what is just Jamal on the show? His name Jamal. He comes up with the idea that they should do a tour to, get their fans, because they get this case study, and basically the people, the fans, they aren't trusting Empire, they've been putting out some bad music or doing the fans wrong, or that whole scandal when they were selling, Kingsbury was selling information to the feds or whatever the case it was. So Jesse comes up with the idea that they need to do an Empire tour, and Giselle is not for that because she's looking at the financial benefit of the company, and they just can't afford to send nobody out on tour. So she called in the big gun. I think his name was Kelly. He owns 40% of Empire, and he sides with her. But he also wants Giselle. He apologized to Giselle for not making her CEO of Empire when her husband died. Instead, he named Kingsley the CEO, and he should have named her the CEO because she actually is good at it. But it seems like it's an underlying plan. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the storyline of this TV show is always the same. Someone is trying to take Empire away from Lucius and Cookie, and it's just getting kind of old. Like I'm tired. So, anyways, ultimately, Giselle ends up agreeing to the tour when Lucius thought it would be a great idea that the tickets for the tour would be free. And this is how you know this show fake, bro. I don't care what type of financial instability a record label is in. They ain't giving away nothing for free, especially not no tour. And they got to pay for everything. They got to pay for the travel. They got to pay for the setting, the lights, the stage. They got to pay for everything. And so she agreed to it. And so now they're going to have this big tour. Now, Becky was asking, it was like, I don't know if you caught it, but Becky was just like a free tour winner, and then her and Giselle kind of walks off because Lucius announced this whole tour in front of all the Empire artists and all of the Empire employees. So Giselle and Becky just walks off, and Giselle tells Becky, just trust me. Now, I believe she is trying to let Lucius and Cookie bury themselves to the point where the board comes in and say, y'all got to go. Yes, Kingsley put us in a hole, but y'all taking us in an even deeper hole. So y'all got to go, and that way Giselle is elevated to be the CEO of the company. Also in the show, there's this journalist, an agent, or some woman out in the Bay Area contacting Cookie about, look, she's like, Instagram lives, they always taking off. They have a life of their own. And she basically wants to build Cookie's brand. Cookie's not really for it until a woman flies in and talk her into it. And was like, look, if Cookie build a brand, it's revenue for Empire. It's a win-win. And it was just, I definitely agree. You know what I'm saying? Because if she's the biggest thing that Empire has, would kind of be sad because she's not an artist. She isn't putting out any music. But if she's the biggest, most popular, most money generating thing that Empire has, then they need to capitalize off of that some way, somehow. Now, there was a scene in the episode that kind of pissed me off because, like I said, Cookie always pissing me off. She just comes across as very selfish and, all of that good stuff. And basically the scene was when her and her sister Carolyn were eating breakfast, and she was telling Carolyn about how Lucius purchased the old crack house in the neighborhood and wants to turn it into a rehab. And she was just like, she wanted to turn it into a community center. And she was just like, we can name it Cookie's Civic Center or something like that. And it just pissed me off because Lucius purchased this to put a rehab facility there, or to just add something positive, in that old neighborhood in Philly. But she wants whatever it is to be named after her. Cookie. And she's selfish. She's like, no, like everything, and I get it. We got to build our brand, but it's just like, no, it's gonna be Lions Rehab Facility, Lions Community Center, whatever. Not Cookie. Cookie is by nothing. Cookie just, you know what I'm saying? I know it's petty, I know, but it just rubbed me the wrong way. Truth be told, it just made me feel a ways because I already Cookie just worked my dog on there. But obviously, I know you guys seen the previews for next week. we going in a direction where it gonna look like Cookie gonna think Lucius and Treasure got something going on, cause Treasure gonna try to get Lucius the goods for getting her career started. Cookie gonna walk in and it looks like she gonna go and make that mistake of dealing with Damon Cross, and therefore it's gonna be the war of Damon Cross versus, you know what I'm saying, the army of Damon Cross versus the army of Lucius Lane, and all of that. But I mean, this, like I said, I guess this episode is more so about introducing Damon's Cross background, his backstory or whatever. It was a decent episode, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, now what I hate about the show is the fact that we can predict pretty much what's next to happen type situation. Like, we not really writing Damon Cross in the bullet thirsty. We writing him in so him and Cookie can have an affair. And the truth be honest with you, I can't wait till I can go in on Cookie. How two wrongs don't make a right. I'm gonna save it for that episode. But until then, guys, if you're new to the channel, like I said, be sure to subscribe. Everyone, be sure to like, comment, and share. And I'm out of here. Peace.